So let's talk about some invention strategies. Many of you may have heard the term writer's block before. Writer's block describes a condition where a writer cannot think of what to write. They're stuck. The ideas just won't come to them. Experienced writers know, however, that ideas don't just come. They do not appear out of thin air. If we had to wait for ideas to come to us, we would never get anything done. There are tools, techniques, and strategies to generate ideas and get us moving forward on writing tasks. This is great news for people who think that good writers are born or that writing depends on inspiration. The fact is, writing, as we've mentioned, is a literacy. It is something that we can learn how to do and something that, with practice, we can continuously improve at. So let's take a brief look at a few inventional strategies that can get the ideas flowing. First, let's talk about free writing. We've already mentioned free writing in our course, and you may have had some practice with it too. Free writing is a simple but effective technique. The first step in invention is to be clear on what your idea, question, or task is. If you're writing, write this out on a page you're writing on. If you're working at a computer, type it at the top of a new document. The second step is to start writing without stopping. This is the most critical part of free writing. Even if you find yourself struggling to write anything, just keep writing. If you go really far off topic, try to bring yourself gently back to the topic. Even if what you were writing seems silly, keep going. Do not worry about grammar or style. The third step is more of a condition. Before you begin writing, you should set a timer for a set period of time. You should write for that entire period of time without stopping. Once the timer goes off, read what you wrote. You will likely be surprised by what you find. At first, this may seem like a strange technique. However, you will quickly see that forcing yourself to write continuously on a topic without worrying about whether you make sense, sound clear, or are stylistically sophisticated will result in usable ideas. You might do a round of free writing and not come up with much that is useful, but do not give up. Do a few more sessions of timed free writing and you will come up with something you can use. We'll talk about a specific type of free writing in our next video, but I want to quickly address another kind of free writing here, list making. All of us make lists at some point or another. We tend to think of lists as simple written artifacts of what is already in our minds, but lists are actually powerful inventional tools. Let's talk about an example to show what I mean. I often make grocery lists when I need to buy food or household items. I may start the list with 1 or 2 items, but as I start writing items, I almost always realize that I need other things. Writing one item makes me think of other items. What is happening is that my brain is making connections or associations, sometimes conscious, sometimes not. As I write waffles, I realize that I will need maple syrup. As I write syrup, I think butter goes well with syrup, so I add butter. As I write butter, I remember that I am out of eggs, since I fry eggs in butter, and so on. List making can work the same way for writing tasks. Let's look at the steps a little more closely. First, like in the free writing exercise, write out your idea, question, or task at the top of the page you're working on. Second, make a list of all the things related to your idea or everything you will need in order to answer your question or accomplish your task. Third, you will want to add related elements to your list. As you're making list items, you may realize you need to do something else in order to accomplish what you have listed. Or you may simply have other ideas that come to mind as you are making your list. Write all of these ideas down. Fourth, see what you have discovered as a result of making your list. Almost always, you will have discovered some direction or new insight. List making can be combined with free writing to make an even more powerful technique. We'll talk about a free writing technique in the next video that has elements of both list making and free writing. You may find it best to keep each list item to just a few words. That way, you will not feel pressured to write full sentences and think about how to put those sentences together. In summary, both of these inventional techniques will help you to generate ideas. They work, they are effective, and if you use them and others like them, you will never get writer's block again. Or if you do, it won't last very long.